No, obviously, you know, we do have a lot of people here because we are on the...
So I don't like these faces. I got so many faces already. Look at the black face. Look how dumb that shit is. This guy. Suck his hair, dude.
Character name. Press X to continue with your character named Kate Games. Press B to go back. Entering Aquarius in crossplay. Press X to create character. Press B to go back. Loading. Please wait. Loading. Please wait.
You lied to me, priest!
I warned you the journey would be difficult.
You said nothing about sailing through the very gates of hell!
Hell is all but inevitable for one such as you, Aldous Thorpe. The island offers something much greater than gold. Redemption. For me, and perhaps even for you. Do not fear the storm, Captain. Faith will see us through.
Faith will see us through.
Skip tutorial. The tutorial does not provide narration assistance. Would you like to skip tutorial? Press B for no. Press X for yes.
I skipped that shit.
Loading. Please wait. For text chat with other players, press left on the directional pad to open chat. Type message then press X to send chat. For proximity voice chat with other players, press and hold left on the directional pad while speaking. Why can't I equip my skins?
A strongman, are you?
Corn Dog Kisses says, so.
Death and burial.
How many black
You
boars
see-
do I have to kill? Calc says, hot bust imams in my area. Fat says, Isabella step on me now. Luma says, what? Dr. Disappoint says, squirting
Those
just
small
another
feet,
promotion.
But say,
Squirting says,
but you
nah.
must be don't worry.
Monarch Red
Many
says,
boys, yes.
body type A is
Cancer-
stronger in build, that's it. Attack says, X for back shots. Squirting says, you're just wrong. Large Milk says, Ayo. Joffrey says, literally the same game. Dr. Disappoint says, form asterisk. Skimpa says, X. Veliki Noldany says, hollow. Supernova says, we told you so. Supernova says, it never was a new game. SAB says, that ate my hamster. Lifestaff says, X. Brierin says, it was only a new world. Samich says, at least it runs better. Monarch Red says, smelly dead game. Doc says, done. Buttery says, it's NWA and that sounds cooler. Toad says, is there a limit to the ignore list? Mine is filling up fast from global chat. Petard says, shut up Toads. Spider Venom says, so are all you PC players on meds or what? Seems a bunch of you just like to bleep
us see
about
what-
bleep.
The town
Cal
of
says,
Brightburn up the road is mostly safe.
Numa says,
But out here,
This is
we
niggas
are
talk,
on
right?
Island Boy says, live. Kinker
talking
says,
too much.
Kinker Bell for president.
No.
Calc says,
I'm
I
Say
like
fool.
Toads.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Israel says, console players out. Lynx says, X your sock. Space Ranger says, Minister Lochnar Ultra Bitch Mave. Schlag Meat says, Skibidi Toilet. Monarch Red says, this game stinks. Dark Rain says, block all console players. Squirting says, lick it tell it crit it. Corn Dog Kisses says, my big titty goth GF is still asleep. D. Kyle says, X code. Dr. Disappoints says, only thing new is Xbox and PS5 players added to the mix. SYY fan says, anyone else getting a weird connection interrupted symbol lower center of their screen at times. Buttery says, such weak sauce humors, like sad crybabies. SHHHHIMA3 says, yeah, most PC players are negative envious. I've played since Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, best not to listen to them live. Captain Lou says, X up for Abyss. Hippie TNT says, welcome back to the re-release of NW. Toad says, PC players are the ones that built this game initially, don't blame console. Intakey says, no one CG where you at. Nico says, I like black men. Red Ranger says, X Richard. X Lisa says, how to turn off chat. Squirting says, Soraka is that you? Rand Blake says, the game is so different from launch. Monarch Red says, devs killed it with June announcement. Bender Rodriguez says, why they changed the jump animation. Supernova says, yeah, wait till you're burned by the game for years. Bill Polar says, we dogpiling the console players' first chance, right? Petrus says, PC players matter PC players more than console players are. Squirting says, black man enjoyer. Cold Epical says, chat turns you off. Buttery says, in settings Lisa you can turn it off. Savage says, I'm excited to play if you guys don't like to just close the game, no need to yap. Eliasavant says, FR how do I? Vanilla Latte 69 says, I'm mad at you for being mad at me. Eunuch says, wow ouch. My Papaya says, bro it came to PC first. Black 99 Thieving says, on God I'm an enjoyer as well as squirting. Evil Akara says, didn't have an option to select server, was this only one. Tinker says, Tinkerbell for president.
Hunt.
Eunuch says, anyone else.
Rebirth. The soul
Papa
has
John
become
says,
claimed by
LOL
evil.
mostly console players are in
all
legacy
you can
worlds
do
are
now
and it doesn't
is
default
put your
to fresh
form
start
of evil
servers. Spider Venom says, I would like to point out how the PC players are cute too. Fruity T Chicken says, bok bleep. Numa says at Tetris, well this is what PC players enjoying themselves looks like. Tinker says, it's chicken. Do not see Bambi says, facts. Monarch Red says, no I was on Legacy and there were no console players. Israel says, console players out. X Lisa says, how is it season 6 already? Teamy Brand Fueled says, fruity. El Taka says, Iron Guardsman's insignia. Scrub says, not all of us at Spider Venom, some of us were hoping this game would do well. Buttery says, indeed, you know that picture of the bleep screaming. That's what all the doomers look like to me. Squirting says, Numa. Samish says, literally logged in a couple days before launch there was console players LMAO. V-Nero says, Isabella's Amulet of the Century. Speaking Rand Gould says, rock bot. Hugs and Kisses says, ECR World Tour starting in Brimstone 1 MINU. Toad says, using the word bleep unironically, JMC. Hugs and Kisses says, ECR World Tour starting in Brimstone 1 MINU. Sophie says, meow. Irise says, waffles are yummy. Sparkle Motion says, X Helios. Irrite says, XECR. Buttery says, weak at best. Doc says. Flatboard says, thanks. Tinkle says, when can I get my flail weapon? Jazel says, hot. Brandlake says, jump off all the high places. Ripping says, PC nukes are terminally online. Eunuch says, LOL right below. Bill Polar says, my map is the GTA San Andrea map somehow. Desert Mouse says, Eunuch.
You niggas is crazy, bro.
Gold says, shut up, we're on Xbox. Hugs and Kisses says, reinforced Orichalcum Great
Stop
Axe
being
Charm
so
Orichalcum Void
I'm not
Gauntlet
sure.
Charm WTS BIS mods for PvP/War OMG 100k each. Corn Dog Kisses says, any Seattle boys here? GRS says, Seattle strong. Bill Polar says, sorry about Katrina. V Nero says, is there any Twitch drop campaign going on our end? Old Pepical says, PNW rep. Hugs and Kisses says, Orichalcum Void Gauntlet Charm Reinforced Orichalcum Great Axe Charm WTS BIS mods 100k each. Anton says, 1. Anton says, 1. Klur says, is there a way to unzoom? PS5. Sunfire says, still get stuck crouching when gathering LOL come on AGS. Black 99 Thieving says, give me your bike. Sunfire says, 3. Rudius Grey Rat says, how did you get that skin? Lilia says, how TF are you selling bleep for 100k already? I only got 40 GQ_Q. Sister Fist 3R says, let me get yo sisters. Illusion says, gag. Papa John says, how to switch to a different chart. Can't find friend. T-Shot says, I bet. Rufusov says, OMG can't wait to more again guys, hugs and kisses. Snack and Cheese says, well you can tell PCPPL were bullied, they are all keyboard warriors. Very Naito says, we. Buttery says, you guys find a hidden chest with all the transmog tokens in it. Toad says, New World has the most people who play it just to cry on Reddit and in chat. Kit Kat Bar says, imagine playing NW in 2024. Bill Polar says, Grace looks like Fleet from League of Legends, I'm with it. The Anti-Hero says, Kit Kat. Blur says, OMG Tot. Young Forever says, go back to sleep haters. S says, what's a D-pad? S says, tampon for men? Rowan Tenebrae says, are they really haters if they're playing at like 8 AM LMAO? Adolf says, any Kamala enjoy us. MS Candy says, those people I hate.
Eat ledger, bastards! So,
Players now.
here I am!
Chris says,
Fighting off
Here I am.
hordes,
Sees
and
Smoke
I'm
says,
thinking,
welcome
who
console.
the hell
Kind of
do I
crazy
get
new
down
world
below
of any
here?
pirate game
So
where they
what
was on
you
a
say?
boat. You know they
Maybe
had
give a girl
dreads,
a
so
hand?
I set up my alarm last night and cleared
Even the
my
white
schedule
people.
just to wake up right now and log into NW to hate on the game.
stop
Diego
playing.
Castillo says, misfortune is that you. Excellent. Rowan Tenebrae says, sounds
Eat
normal
ledger,
/10.
bastards! You won't be getting a piece of
Large
bread.
Milk says, I love milk. Snow Ringer says, LOL misfortune. Yonko says, fun too.
Back on the
Juan
sand.
John says,
You have my thanks.
111.
I know a
Mark
safe spot
Cardinal
this way.
says,
Come on.
New to MMOs.
I'm about to play this
This
again
happens
later
in every
on.
MMO.
About to
I know
go to a
because I played the
chiropractor, get
first
my
one ever
shit
made.
crap.
Wow. Ripazov
did he?
says, justice for Snuffer.
Oh, did he?
Ripazov
Say
says,
it out loud.
justice for Snuffer. Strukta says, we they are. 604 says, Ripazov is crazy. Large Milk says, dude I just drink milk. Harry King 2024 says, 1111. Ripazov says, me or Black Swan who you want.
Well now, I was
AFC
beginning to
Unlucky
think I'm
says,
perfect. I'm
you.
not a... This is... And there's booty to be had
Courier
here.
says,
Of course.
DM for New World's
In
first
fact,
PvP guild DM.
You want... That's the spirit.
We're
It's
taking
my...
Windsward. Smoke says, New World Throne and Liberty. Java says, we have sliders now. Solapane says, RISE. Ripazov says, X Subly girls. Strukta says, Grace got that shit. Vitard says, or 30. Vitard says, saying shit. Eraser says, sup.
Oh shit.
Buttery says, you talking about my girl Grace. Strukta says, who's 30? Merdanial Gold says, when I say so. Zack Attack says, rude.
I wanted that.
In Twin
You
says,
taking my
my
stuff.
girl you mean? Ripazov says, free of subs this month DM me. Yoki says, still better than FF14. Soup Slurper says, lol. Supernova says, how is there so few console players? Did relaunching the game 4 times no entice people to buy it? Wanji Yuhei says, 1, 2, 3. Pinka says, how long till bots ruin economy? Wanji Yuhei says, 123. Ducky says, how long until the whole map is purple? That says, any bleep online. Bill Polar says, starting area looks like Detroit but nicer. Numa says, that will move today. Fruity T Chicken says, LF Daddy to carry tiny gay chicken. Fat says, I know we're bald at toads. Wanji Yuhei says, 123. Kit Kat Bar says, gold first coconut first. Lordzalo says, Daddy chill. ANL says, people are transferring
There
legacy
you
characters
are.
to fresh start.
Unfortunately, I worry it's bad luck leaving
ANL
behind my
says,
own treasures. But I
WAGS.
can't get now. They tell you what.
Oro
Most
says,
of all,
if you are leveling you are gaming wrong. Scrub says, no they aren't because you can't do that. Oro says, this game is to chop trees. J0 Key says, oh I. Yanko says, selling rune simi 25k. Young Forever says, bling too quick now, I'm boycotting the MSQ. E-Nero says, trimming rune armor. Tippy TNT says, slow down attack BS. Supernova says, leveling is way too fast because they don't want to have to keep the servers up for 3 months. They want to gain bleed so they can pull the plug. Bill Bowler says, gold trimming armor for 20k. Paul says, old masters skinning knife get no bread up. Soup Surfer says, it'll be a good day at work Zach. Dreadbringer says, doubling gold. Fresh Start Novik says, X Helio. Lag Detected says, too many filthy casuals here under LBL 10. Wuggies says, any fans of Talk Twat here? That says, tell me now. Logia says, hell. Numa says at that look at the damn walls. SAV says, hell. Braxis says, welcome console players. Kasi Morty says, Suckoy. Quiva Pigler says, anyone selling an affordable hatchet? Lag Detected says, too many filthy casuals here under LBL10.
They fall in line.
Chestivery says, I think the rest of us need to be obtusely positive to troll the trolls.
Will be the same.
Kuromi says, I thought players couldn't transfer into Fresh Start. X2 Beta X says, excited to have new consolers. Firecracker says, I've been WFH since 2020. Bush Tatus says, X. Pat says, all I see is your balls in my mouth at Oasis. Numa says, console people are mostly not using MNK / not talking. Wasabi Bear says, /. Israel says, console players get out. Ducky says, the jumping update is actually sick. Purple Ranger says, no don't. Velicky Noldany says, we have keyboards yes Valley. Inashuk says, anyone have to play like that to get one early. Grim Joe says, I am on PS5. Immortal Man says, Value Village sells good keyboard. Chunky Muffin says, y'all console players looking mad cute. Neil Riga says, how to hide hell.
I scout. Yes,
Hal
yes,
says,
ah.
guys be nice right
I
now.
suspect.
Aye.
LTS says, console, smiley face. Solapane says, PC gamers are NERS, never mind them. Dreamcast says, Nintendo in ruins. Bill Polar says, we joking, we love you, we running you down on site though. Seals Terra says, if you aren't playing this in 4K, you're not a PC player. Arate says, I only came BK for swimming. Firecracker says, you don't have to play with PC. Fryerin says, there are console-only servers. Whiskey says, SKUB or no SKUB. Artemir says, Artemir sits. Large Milk says, who else straight jacking it RN? Firecracker says, and bleep. Parthian says, cranking the hog. Sunfire says, 3. Dome Piece says, WTV TiVo PST. C-Smoke says, welcome console players. Uncle 2 says, console players are going to be homeless on cross-play servers. Soup Slurper says, MNK Supreme. Rowan Tenebrae says, damn, Grace is kinda. Sal says, Ayo. Mellow Jays says, could be worse, Cuck'll be playing Apex. Toad says, no DX12 crashes here. Tinker says, Tinker for president. Soup Slurper
Don't
says,
ask me to. Your
Apex
local
is
friends say
absolute
there's a
dog
town
booty.
a bit up the road. I'll head there and
Camparius
sell this
LEGR
loot.
says,
I'll set your
this
part
cat is
aside
even
and
worse than it was
those
before.
two say there's some. Besides, Captain
Supernova
Great
says,
Avatar.
but for real though, why so few Xbox on here? Soup Slurper says, yep. Immortal Man says, Karen. Toad says, Old Epical says, how to change this first. Parthian says, most probably are ignoring the chat honestly. Seals Tira says, most console players are addicted to drugs, they can't afford a PC. Senator says, it really is. The UI was never that great before, especially the chat. But now it's awful. Camparius LEGR says, who the bleep thought this chat was a good idea, like WTF. Spider Venom says, who has time to chat SH is wieldling. 604 says Adrip true. Apeng says, XX. Oasis says, nah chat was worse before, no bots now. Immortal Man says, no EXP in chat, so better get going and don't left behind LOL. Elan says, X. Providen says, too hard to type on console. Dreamcast says, grinding my toxicity skills here. Supernova says, until. Drogan says, nah man I want my season pass now. Buttery says, get a controller with a keyboard. It's what I say on PC and Xbox. Kit Kat Bar says, X sacred after midnight. Oasis says, selling my GF1K gold from you. Dreamcast says, gamepad best way to play this. Bill Polar says, where is on? Luma says that acts pretty hard apparently. Who says, hello this is aka the server's message. Let's GOOO. Fritzy says, Asmon's in WW. Corndog Kisses says, why do dogs have cold noses? Tradesman says, he is cancelled now. Toad says, adult man fawning over a man who wipes tooth blood on his walls. Kit Kat Bar says, WTF is tooth blood. Skuma Plug says, feels good to be back in Aeternum again. Camparius LEGR says, man, I can't get over how stupid this chat system is. Meneer says, Asmon bald. Hullscorn says, Asmon would likely play on US East. Toad says, it's blood from your teeth. Attack says, from the screen, to the ring, to the pen.
And they shall witness the power
Jay
manifest.
says, how to
The
change
true
water.
future of the human race.
Captain Goon says, choose any faction. Alicia says, love y'all. LF Rock says, Dark Rain says, as moderate. Force says, yer. I'm offended says, wow. Dragnorphin says, Dragnorphin sits. Is Hayden says, AHH scary New York. Senator says, jumping feels weird now. Beard Breaker says, Ted says, I is your just talking. Oasis says, jumping is floaty. Donkey says, just wait for the next relaunch. Spam Eater says, XECR. Firecracker says, a lot of people are playing because they already bought it 3 years ago. Darkry says, you up here. Osborne says, did you really come to talk? It's 8 AM on a Tuesday LMAO. Guardian says, Lugia says, ha 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 ha. Diapake says, anyone trying the DX12? Sal says, server so dead global chat is popping. Kit Kat Bar says, AGS can't do DX12 work. Artemisia says, anyone here from Isabella? X for MYRK says, so many bots at the starting area already XD. Buttery says, shush you. Signet Epsilon says, so, this is it. X says, console players where? Banner says, just getting to 65 now. Firecracker says, all the mines are cut and paste though. Excel says, way better. X for NYRK says, K1 launch button is free of the LOL. Joey says, high top. Buttery says, you guys find the hidden chest with the transmog tokens in it yet? Sheepdip says, was a. Immortal Man says, yapping virus. Fishmonger says, because we have keyboards. Way2DANK says, cause console don't got keyboard you fools. John Callan 4 says, is everyone enjoying the great campfire festival? Firecracker
Steal
says,
that which is
lots
mine.
of names are
You
taken.
assault my followers.
Attack says,
And now
I
you
love John
disrupt my
Callan.
plans. This is
Menkara says,
personal.
I want Eli. Oasis says, waiting for the game journos to talk about how PC players toxic on NW. Thumps.exe says, love how we can't turn down player names now. The hell they thinkin'? Attack says, if it ain't LARPco it's cardboard. Parthian says, 100% if they want the game filtered, then fine, but ITLL just
It
die
takes
again.
more.
Mirdi says, John.
Yet you live, but you
John
find
Callan
the
4
secret,
says,
and you'll
he'll
see.
see you
Let's
all
not
at
get
the
ahead.
festival
Yes,
of the
in the
campfire for
past.
interviews.
And if you had, it is
To see
unlikely.
Morty
That would
says,
be
My
as
friend,
Mungold sucks. Uncut says, fresh start for sure. Woke Ranger says, Harrow. Artemisia says, why did they mess with the chat style? Woke Ranger says, oh Harrow. Doc says at Uncut nice. MR Jerry says, crazy seeing so many PPL. Oasis
Come
says,
closer.
Lil Bro bought a dead
It
game
is
nog.
time you know the
Poison
whole
Pixie
truth.
says, hello. Gotsproid says, it'll be better this time for sure. Griprin says, hello
We're
world.
about to be in a cutscene.
Caesar says, to all you new players, seeing lots of PPL rushing and running, missing a lot of
This
chests hidden in
island
the
has
belly of these boats in
always
the starter
guarded
area.
the promise of
King
paradise.
Thranduil says, what is it?
Humanity cast out,
Spam Eater says,
deemed
what if my
unworthy
console
of
schemes?
such blessings.
Hippie TNT says,
I
agree
did
on
not
old
come
chat.
here seeking
Sunfire
paradise.
says,
I came
WTV
for
daddy.
answers.
Black
Redemption
Capone
after
says,
a life
consoles
of
do have
weakness
keyboard
and
this is
suffering.
2024 not
I
PS2.
found the truth that
Uncut says,
disproved
to all the new
everything
people
I had
nothing
been
matters
taught.
as far as gear until you hit
I
max
tasted
LVL
the
and GS.
knowledge forbidden to us
His
at
demon says,
creation, and I saw the vision
Sister
of
Just 3R
humanity's
says,
true
give me your
potential.
sisters.
I knew then
Oasis says,
I
change
must
chat
correct
text size.
this ancient injustice
Wizard says,
and
3
restore
years
the
and still
power
bad wish
which
tatters.
is rightfully ours.
Bad bitch.
The heart of the
Gypsy says,
mountain
I
now
need more
beats
milk.
strong with this purpose.
That says,
After a
nice
century of preparation,
Drogan
our
says,
campaign
so
has
chest runs
begun.
don't give you fear now.
The island's townships
Parthian
already
says,
fall
this is
before
the
the
first
might
time
of our
attempting an
armies.
MMO on console.
The
LOL,
only
if
thing
anyone's
I had
wondering,
not
the
foreseen
game basically
is
has no
you.
meta, and if you want people to love you, use muskets.
Who have stolen
Black
the
99
gift
Thieving
meant for
says,
me.
damn it, please shut up,
And
please.
now your soul will pay the
Poison
price.
Pixie says,
For I
"Please
will
take."
not stop until I have seized
Sebastian
back
Ivy
the
says,
destiny
"So many
stolen from
crybabies
us
in chat."
and brought true freedom to
Black
the world.
99 Thieving
Both
says,
old
run your bike
and
at damn it,
new.
please. I Warwolf I says, I love musket. Kit Kat Bar says, Gold Cursed Jacket of the Scholar, Gold Cursed Warhammer WTS. Scrub says, they're sad cause their parents never loved them, so they try to treat console people like their parents treated them. Diddy's favorite says, grr. Eggs and Bakey says, welcome new/returning players, and welcome to our console friends. If you have any questions, ask here, or ping me. I'm happy to help however I can. Large Milk says, brothers ALR got max gear LOL. Spat says, whoa how FUOCO Renshi. Corn Dog Kisses
Did you see
says,
my car?
who the hell
Never
was
seen
that?
I should tell you this much. You mean?
Yujiro says,
and
CAONI moth. Intake says, you don't got leak me scopes. Grievance says, Type 4 cam. Parthian says, true no Nintendo plebs. Sunfire says, yes cupping. Gipsy says, on console players all you want but they are the ones saving this game. Pro says, it's okay, let's just enjoy this one last cash grab together while it lasts. Donkey says, hi console gamers for saving this game. Supernova says, Thai consoles. A healer says, lame, I wanted to transfer off Fresh World but you can't. Ripazov says, bleep y'all don't know about BB Paint. Meebobo says, bless their console hearts. Vampire X Slayer says, Rip how much is the of sub? Ripazov says, bleep y'all don't know about BB Paint. Corndog Kisses says, how these boars get up on the ship. Oasis says, console players not dealing with ugly character creators. Ripazov says, bleep y'all don't know about BB Paint. Black 99 Thieving says at Ripazov let me get a free trial. Black 99 Thieving says at Ripazov let me get a free trial. Ripazov says, bleep y'all don't know about BB Paint. Ripazov says, bleep y'all don't know about BB Paint. Sunfire says, WTV Baldy Daddy. Kui Isi says, Guo Ren Gong Wei Xiao Ren. Reaper of Booty says, this game is fire. Vampire X Slayer says, Rip do you do butt stuff on the O. Israel says at Seals Tara so true. Ripazov says, it's not free. Chestibury says, remember when all the Doomers insisted this launch would be late. X for MYRK says, Grace is so bad. Fat says, remember when you cradled my nuts? The Smith says, willing to trade. Firecracker says, oh god Red Veil is on the server. Oasis says, console players gonna love the grass ambushes. Kit Kat Bar says, there's no such thing as Doomers. Zane Benimaru says, imagine gatekeeping this game in 2024. Incursio 1 says. Camparius LEGR says,
Cares about the city,
"Man,
bro."
this chat is just so stupid. Toad says, can't get playal quick. Rory says, keep going, they give you one. Mick Jones says,
Welcome
sad
to
face.
Have you come from the beach then?
V Nero says,
The worst part is
crafted
that it's
with
all
Arcana.
happening on the eve of the most. Why not? Of
Nero
course, however,
says,
Nitro. Don't
"Quick
feel
as
you.
wet."
I just sent another.
Toad says, they removed the weapons from the ground in the beach area. Numa says, yeah mostly. Sage GG says, rat. Taylor Swift says, why don't you shut up and play to find out Pinkle? That says, yeah Pinkle. Colin Stormson says, yeah TF.
Here's mine.
Immortal Man says, chat lover. GG. Pinkle says, Naima keep asking questions. You can bleep and
The
stop
worst
reading
part
chat.
is that it's all happening. Of
Guardian
course, however,
says,
don't feel you have to
Taylor
run.
Swift
I
would
just
never
sent
talk to
another
someone
new
like that.
beach that
Should
way.
be way more rude. Try again.
So again.
Taylor Swift says, yeah, and I have over 100 iron or bleep. Pinkle says, this isn't a new game, you idiot. Corndog Kisses says, You think Taylor Swift's about that backdoor stuff? Pat says, yeah idiot. Aaron Windmere says, new players might want to close chat. There are salty ASF players around. Me Lord Mo says, hello world. Immortal Man says, hi world. Artemisia says, we have time invested of course. X for MYRK says, did someone say X up for MYRK? I'm in.
Welcome to
Fleur
the
says,
Regent's Rise.
Can you move the
Sleep
camera
here.
once you
Then what is he
Feel
supposed to
like
be?
a king. You here to check in? Be my guest.
Buttery says, LOL they are so mad. It's so good and they don't know what to do, everything they say sounds dumb. Corndog Kisses says, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Dr. Disappoints says, PC plays are the lowest of life. Space Ranger says, you can tell Locknear the villain by his hair. Buttery says, some of us PC players very good. Black Capone says, like they have fans LOLOL. Rupazov says, bleep y'all don't know about BB Faint. Rupazov says, bleep y'all don't know about BB Faint. Scrub says, they're mad they killed this game and want to try to ruin it for everyone else too, that's why. That
Now
says,
there's a here we find know that we're both a
Luigi
little.
Mario
Never let it be
says,
said. Grace
how to
O'Malley
turn on
doesn't pay
item
her debts.
comparison. Red
When you
Samurai
got that
says,
coin I just gave you, so yeah,
XLFOPR
you
group.
should check out the trading.
Donkey says, who else got their Hot Pockets and Mountain Dew ready? SCPI says, a lot of butter PC players. Scad says, does balding count? Brand Lake says, they just waiting to be told what they think. B Nero says, Asmon bald. Black 99 Thieving says at Corndog Kisses block me before I steal your bike. Roy I2K says, rather play this than Throne and Liberty. Zachariah says, common health potion. Immortal Man says, who highest LVL here RNLOL. It says, PC players are way more sensitive than console. Chill don't want them to complain again on Reddit. Java says, reinforced orichalcum great axe charm WTS. Thilan says, I'm truly rooting for the game to do well. It's a fun time, just doesn't have any growth at endgame after the first month or two. Tyga255 says, Butters. Buttery says, cuz not poor. Silveri says, Pinkle stop projecting. Zane Benimaru says, imagine getting mad at console players is when we're saving your game from death. Buttery says, Tyga. Tanelth says, game's been dead. Tanelth says, ain't saving bleep. Claire says, hi, there a way to move the camera once you have locked an enemy? Chestibury says, LOL ain't saving bleep. Taylor Swift says, I have Pax Sever. Dr. Van Kroken says, happy to see new players from any platform. Wrench says, nope. Colin Stormson says, PS5? Mark? Oh my goodness. I love the lock-in. Eggs and Bakey says, do you mean cycle to another enemy once you're locked? You should be able to do that. Mellow Jays says, FR musket aim assist. Baron says, is Tegus a cross-play server? Sunfire says, highly more buttery. Is Hayden says, what about the UI not being mapped to widescreen? Dan Kurita says, console players know how to. No console players, anyone who complains about a game they play complains about sex. Zuplay says, oi Uncle J0 key. Uncut says, How TF people doing M3 already? The game came out an hour ago. Rick GD says, we're having sex? Sex update. Numa says at Uncut it's a joke. Tinkle says, console going to get destroyed in PvP Omega lol. Kuryatayev says, DM to join New World's first PvP guild Dianda. Papa John says, only real people talkin' are PC players is. Console player like me are Jews trying the game out. B4L says, I haven't seen this many people in a server for a while. Nico says, my dad is touching, tell him to stop. Kui Isi says, Guo Ren Gong Hui Xiao Ren.
Yes, mother.
His Hayden says, carrot. Corndog Kisses says, figured there'd be more local VC. Corndog Kisses says, let me hear
Yes,
those
I answered. You hung up on me.
voices. Chestivery says, LMAOO. Shotgun Dude says, Buttery says,
Mom, I already know. Give me some some headphones for my PlayStation. Headphones for my PlayStation.
Says, did someone say butter?
My PS5.
Says, then why is TL dying so fast as a F2P game? Black 99
Headphones for PS5. Make sure it says PS5 on
think
there.
that's what drew the crowd. But Barky says it's really just
Garrett
people
says,
fleeing from trouble at the outline. Sounds like unlike those.
Yeah, because
I'd be more
that one's
interested to
broke.
hear.
Magic Isolate says,
What?
Hi Asmo. Immortal Man says,
Yeah.
I'm here for PvP. Can you
What?
guys don't play that fast this time? SYFI Fan says, I mean it has better graphics but that's about it. Dreamcast says, I heard Kroger delivers special milk. Sika says, X. Play says, X any ad. The Nude says, can you morph in this game? Barbecue says, 123 plus plus. Sis says, boners. Taylor Swift says, XMYRK. Gavin says, XMYRK. Hippie TNT says, storage space, ignore the XP bleep. Chestivery says, I'm going syndicate. Sister Fist 3R says,
Farmers
WTB
tonight,
insanity
the
shot
miners
calling.
no word in days.
Black
We need-
Capone says, shut or well actually looking bleep up. Instant Karma says,
We saw signs of.
et.
You should know that.
His
With
Hayden
all,
says,
however, the
X.
greater concern. Minister Locknear
Rubizov
believes
says,
the return. Oh,
bleep
I'm
y'all don't
still.
know about BB
That's
fame.
just if you.
KFC Unlucky says, Mia Makova or Harley Dean. Buttery says, guys they added swimming because say people ask for it for 3 years. Other guy says, XDHG. Ducky says, W swimming. Hippie TNT says, XDHG. Soulless Slayer says, what is DHG guys? Soup Slurper says, my days drowning in Evan's Gale are over. Mohawk TUAH says, XDHG. Artemisia says, dehydrated gamers. Samich says, boo. Gamertime says, X. Bill Polar says, XDHG. Bad Beta says, X. Hugs and Kisses says, X supple. Seamer says, are the quest rewards in the starting area based on your starting archetype? Or is everyone getting heavy armor?
They say, but then I realized,
Sid
yes,
says, Drone and Shiberty sucks bleep. Firecracker says, TNL is also F2P. Valmaniac says, based or type. Iton says, Olaf. Yujiro says, AHHS game with 3 skills per weapon is very good, the skill ceiling is very high. Jujin says, New World is not worth calling out. El Crotha says, Work Enda forever.
Love keeps you. I've made a fair
Kurova
gum.
says,
Yes. This is
how
the
do you
first.
make a campfire again? El Midanok says, what? Tatus Nasty says, I mean with that logic you would say League of Legends doesn't require skill to be good. Ducky says, Ducky gives the thumbs up. Kyoshi says, no you log off. Tatus Nasty says, if you don't like it then leave, pretty simple. Lilia says, no at corndog kisses. That's my job. Scrub says, crazy concept but some of us actually enjoy the games we play. Aneurysm says, might be a good time to roll console only. Hotbox says, Hotbox lit a Dryad rocket. KFC Unlucky says, hi. GigaChat's dad says, good to see some console users. Numa says, seriously though no point in complaining about the bitching, it won't stop or slow for a month. Whiskey says, pour one out for the people who got banned during first launch. JK. Jack Frost says, oh god, the voice of Cart God. GRS says, don't listen to some of the PC idiots. There are always trolls. We all just want to have fun and a good time. Gudnuck says, Gudnuck dances. Sister Fist 3R says, Slacker give me your sister. Hirastorm says, I just hope there are improvements to matching for dungeons, etc. That was the biggest fault of the original game. Firecracker says, PS5 Pro is gonna be lit right. Supernova says, well, the game may last a few months for sure but I think PC will dominate these servers. Mammoth says, original game. Gandalf says, it's. Dandy Hackett says, so after 4 years is this game better now that it released again? Scrub says, question of the year at Papa John's. Mammoth says, this is just a reskin, like Overwatch 2. Sister Fist 3R says, LOE. Immortal Man says, can you guys change subject in chat? Scoobs says, it was Sony that made it console only. Numa says, no cross saves is also a console restriction. Vinny says, this game is a lot of fun, all will enjoy it. Black Capone says, it's because PPL get tired of PC cheaters in all crossplay games. Wood says, does the HUD scale to 3440 x 1440? Wes May says that Halo New World's leveling experience and early game is some of the most fun I've ever had gaming. It's the late game that needs work. Immortal Man says, oh Valley it's like misfortune in League. MR Jerry says, Blaster Dandy. Supernova says, no even console can exploit in this game, it's fair. Scrub says, well personally I'm happy that we finally get crossplay. Oasis says, just get gut TBH, beat the cheaters somehow. Super Sony says, ONDAUROI. Papa John says, so dumb, those serfs will die a lot faster and will force everyone to buy transfers. Black Capone says, you know you can use KB on console right? Instant Karma says, X Winter. Soup Slurper says, hello. Haruda Eternum says, how's everyone liking it so far? Buttery says, hey you all find that hidden chest with all the transmog tokens in it yet? Immortal Man says, play. Laughing face. Supernova says, it's New World X4. Kuryatayev says, DM to join New World's first PvP guild Dianda. Marjorie says, Marjorie waves. Arate says, make sure you always increase storage space when you can. Maoyi says, LMAO curry. B1 Akmamba says, first time playing. Buttery says, anyone log into your legacy server to see what it looks like there, packed. Numa says, storage space station fee trade tax. Social Slut says, WDX orbs. Yuppies says, the beginning is definitely improved emo. Marksy Marks says, Fiona Murphy is quite the poet. Las Luxeternum says, Thor are not allowed an opinion. X for MYRK says, I miss corruption trains on launch. Dandy Hatchet says, yeah, the beginning is way better, more streamlined. Eggs and Bakey says, forgot how awesome the sound of distant gun / chopping wood is in this game. Soup Slurper says, right. Israel says, console players get out. Corndog Kisses says, what's the hotkey to not run so damn goofy? Calc says, Calc dances. Sibias Mara says, Sibias Mara sits. Sibias Mara says, Sibias Mara sits. Brick GD says at Dreamcast I had to really. Val says, G. Whiskey says, Fluffy and the gang wash the shore on this island, how well would they do? Epic Dilemma says, what's this? Already stealing kills in tutorial LOL, well, that's now how I remember this game. Wes May says, haha, these console players get access to so many names that PC don't. Goldilocks says, so, at LVL 25, I can hide my helm while still wearing it? Ripazov says, bleep y'all don't know about BB Paint. Eggs and Bakey says, yes, unlocks at 25 I believe. Evilist Spartan says, names are game-wide. Dandy Hatchet says, kills are shared, if you both attack you both get ears. Evilist Spartan says, what? Caldrick says, thanks. Lynn says, it's a transmog basically. Social Slut says, where is Hodge / Axe Grab 3R says, who's ready for butt stuff? Scrub says, no, only one person can skin. Numa says, no shared skin. Valmaniac says, does anyone have the issue of sometimes while running your character desyncs like from lagging or ping? Merdanial Gold says, nah. Dark Fang says, treated would bow WTS 100G. Jacob Sook 3 Hero says, GG. Supernova says, Syndicate make some noise. Hanks says, you Winston Smith says, yeah, Val. It will smooth out later. Payments says, Herp Gang. Goldilocks says,
you did me a good turn with my devil's honey.
Sunfire says,
I'm
John,
seeing as how
and so
I think I might message will sub.
Tyga 255 says, Purple Gang Gang. Big DRACO 916 says, Green Gang Igby. Indez says, are you guys playing in DX12 or regular Bleep 11? Buttery says, purple is the only color I see. Dome Piece says, FS Union on top. Scoops says, perp on top.
Oh dear.
Hybrid says, how do you flag for PvP? Corndog Kisses says, what does bricked up mean? Scoops says, press U at a shrine or settlement. Hybrid says, tut. Corndog Kisses says, DMX12. Dandy Hatchet says, ruinin' that 16-bit life LOL. Scrub says, well folks, I'm glad to be back here with y'all and welcome to the game all the new console people. I'm off to work, you'll see y'all in 9-ish hours, laughing face. Alder says, Laidlin. Zuraki says, Jurjuru. Eggs and Bakey says, see you scrub. Camparius LEGR says, I am playing from my air fryer. Ducky says, oh choose a faction, I don't know what to pick. Tokamonsta says, hello. Slurper says, perp. EP Guild Deanda.